What allegations against Hunter Biden should those who want to hold him accountable pursue? Turns out, it might be that the answer isn't to look at any of the more salacious allegations against him, tempting as those might be, but to focus on what he's already being investigated for: tax fraud. That might not be as exciting, but it's the allegation that Peter Schweitzer called a slam dunk in an interview with Breitbart News. Speaking on that to Breitbart, Schweitzer, along with saying that Hunter would likely take the fall on the tax fraud issue to protect his dad from having to deal with the situation, described the tax fraud case against him as a slam dunk, saying, "What seems to be fairly clear at this point, you can notice this with a flurry of news reporting that is occurring, that I would say that the odds are fairly good Hunter Biden is going to be indicted. On which of those charges, I don't know. I think tax evasion is a slam dunk." But, unfortunately, Schweitzer immediately followed that up with bad news, saying that while the case might be a slam dunk, there's almost certainly going to be some deal cut so that Hunter can protect his dad and not fully deal with the consequences of his actions. But, here's the real challenge for the people in this room and for the American people. What is probably going to happen is there's going to be a deal cut. Hunter Biden is going to cop to some of the charges. He may spend some time in jail. But, he's going to do that to protect his father. While that might be disappointing to many, Schweitzer did offer a pretty good summary of what we know so far based on the Hunter laptop and what can be done to prevent something similar from happening again. First, he described how congressional oversight could hold Hunter accountable and bring the full situation to light, saying, "Congressional oversight is a legitimate and important function here. The Department of Justice is not going to do it. And what I would suggest is congressional committees, when the anticipation is you will take the majority in November, use the subpoena power of the oversight committees to investigate this. Have Hunter Biden and these other individuals testify under oath, subpoena financial records, the joint accounts, etc." Then, he followed that up with a pretty good summary of how such oversight could prevent similar situations in the future, saying, "If you look at the situation right now, as it relates to the Biden family, Joe Biden is required to disclose if he has $1,000 in GE stock. He's required to disclose all of his campaign contributors of $200 or more, but his son does multi-million-dollar deals with Chinese state-owned entities where he's performing no legitimate business purpose. There's no disclosure requirement, so why not simply require the executive branch and legislative branch members to answer a simple question? Is anybody in your immediate family, meaning adult children, spouse, engaged in commercial activities with foreign governments or foreign state-owned enterprises? If you check, yes, at least require members to disclose it." So, while Hunter can likely be caught on the tax fraud but might wiggle off the hook thanks to who he knows, at least there's a way to stop something similar from happening in the future.